ladies and gentlemen. We are the Millie Goats. I am AK, your co-host. I know some of the other guys are making their way in. I've talked to Edge, but ladies and gentlemen, regardless, we're glad to have you in. The Rumble chat is absolutely firing. So if you're listening to the podcast, we film in front of a live studio audience. So we got Back in Blanco here. What's going on? B. McCormick, Masters Week. That's right. He sent the parlay. Buckeye-Maker groins in here. Kind of love that name. Love it. Yes, he's the most time like most pro. That's right, dude. We're trying to be on time. Today's been crazy, man. I just ran outside. I had to get my gum. I'm a little bit backed up. Flag football started today with my son, so I was coaching that. Showed up to the field. Blue's here. What's up, Blue? Buckeye-Maker groins here. Love it. I'm coaching flag. I showed up to the field today. Love football. Football season in spring. Who said football's? It's definitely football season. Showed up. Oh gosh, McAfee just gave 100. Of course he did. That's what he has to do. Just throw money at everybody. So, that's all right. We don't have $100,000. I got my Masters green jacket on, as you can see. If you can't see, I'm wearing it. That matches my new our new Millie Goats rope hats that we're having custom made. Shout out Howdy Hats, howdy.hats.enc. Check these babies out. Looking right there. Yes, dude. Yes, BMO. I got it. We do have a winner to the contest. Shout out BMA, not BMO, who won the bracket contest. So he will be getting his hat, some cash, and a gift card to fourth quarter performance. Shout out that. So shout out to everybody who tuned in. It is episode 229, April 9th, and tomorrow's Masters Day, ladies and gentlemen. And happy National Gin and Tonic Day to everybody. Shout out BMO on the cruise. That was the first time I ever had gin and tonic. The cruise where I met my wife. That's a story for a different day. But it is Masters Week. It just has a different feel. I've actually got the Masters channel on. Everybody who may not even like golf probably tunes into the Masters a little bit, at least. But we've got these hats. If you reach out to us, DM me on Twitter. Like I'm sitting here watching this Masters. It's just, I don't understand how the grass, the azaleas, everything, it's just magnificent, spectacular. Anyways, I'm watching the coverage. So these hats, we've got those. So just, dude, G.U.Y.S, here we go. I'm with you. You will see that in a very short amount of time as we get into the Masters talk. I mean, I love the Masters. I told my wife right before I came down here, I said, Happy Masters Day or Masters Week. Tomorrow's my long day at work, so that's unfortunate. But, stay on task, AK. I keep getting distracted. Jack got me all fired up when we were talking about Benny On right here at the beginning of the show. But these hats, we do have them for sale. I'm getting another shipment in Monday of another like 18 to 30 hats. So I might just go ahead and order some more patches and things like that too, because people have been contacting us. So that's pretty cool. I appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the support. The hat's cool. I'm wearing it. So we can move on from that. So on the show, we're going to do, we've got the Salute Your Sports. We got to talk about Florida basketball. They win. That was hilarious. And yes, you got to throw some. You got to throw some on MK because he was on. If you haven't checked out our Michael Kim interview, check that out. We've been in contact with Hubs, so we're going to try to do that. That's what I'm talking about, Matthew. Matthew Greco, G.U.Y.S does know ball. Benny On has done very well at Augusta, historically wise. I think he's played here. Can't remember how many times. Oh my gosh, how much do you want to get into? How much do you want to get into the weeds, baby? I love getting into the weeds. Just check out this nice hat. Benny On has played in the Masters. This is his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is his 6th time playing at Augusta. Finished tied for 16th last year. He's actually, You know why, Benny on? I know I'm getting off the rails here early. We got a schedule. Stay on schedule, dude. Benny on is an absolute savage. I think it's strokes gained off the tee, and I think he's pretty good at par fives. So if you can have those two things at Augusta, then you can play some white ball here. You can play some dimple ball here. So, but he's tied for 33rd in 2017 and tied for 16th. He won throwing money on the fresh fella. Are you talking about Scotty? Holy smokes, dude. Anyways, let's get back on schedule here as I rip through the comments. I'm just so glad everybody's here. This is great. We're enjoying it. So yes, check out on hell. God, what was his name? Cabrera. Yeah. He just won a tournament too. So yeah, we got to talk about basketball, wrap that up. We've got to talk about more news coming in about Ovechkin. And then we've got a Jurassic Park situation on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. I know that was a long-winded intro to get through the overview there, but we got a lot of Masters stuff. I have so much stuff on the Masters. I love it. I love it. And so then we'll get to our picks and that sort of thing. And if you've got stuff, put it in the comments. And if you like the hats and you like the show, anytime you listen and rate and review the show on Apple or Spotify or wherever, like if you subscribe and then rate, that helps a lot. We've had a huge jump in some numbers here recently. The Michael Kim interview helped. He was awesome. Go listen to that if you haven't. Even if you want to skip the first 30 minutes where we're just BSing about other sports stuff, he starts about 30 minutes into the Michael Kim episode, which I think was 2 episodes ago. Go check it out. He's awesome. It'll give you a reason to root. He's somebody you need to root for this week. He's cool. Again, Masters Green on, coaching football, engaged, football season, Masters, Frozen 4 this weekend. I mean, come on, people. Dang it, I think I forgot to put the Frozen 4 in here. That's all right. We know what it is. It starts Thursday. When the Masters end, Frozen 4 starts. It's a perfect segue right into each other. It's great. Good job, NCAA hockey. Let's get through these slides before we move into the sports stuff. This was dude, Blue Direwolf, that is in here. Don't you worry. That's what I meant by Jurassic Park. This news right here. When I'm rolling through Twitter and I'm rolling through social medias and I'm thinking throughout the day about the show, there's just some stuff that comes up through your feed and you're just like, what is going on? So this is from Hockey Forever. It says, this is referring to hockey. To learn English, Evgeny Malkin watched Transformers on repeat. If you've heard stories about Geno Malkin, you absolutely know he's just a freight train. He's just a meathead. So quote, Evgeny Malkin's first roommate, Max Talbot, who also played for the Penguins, obviously. He said, quote, Malkin watched Transformers like every night. I mean, it's not a great movie, you can see it once or twice, but Malkin, he always wanted to watch that Transformers movie. I said, Gino, why do you always want to watch that movie? He said, look at girl, learn English. And honest to God, I laughed for the next 5 minutes, said Talbot. He had a crush on the actress Megan Fox. He watched the movie because she was in it, right? And I guess Sergei Gonchar had told Evgeny Malkin, Sergei Gonchar is another NHL guy, to learn English by watching the same movie over and over and over again. So Gino watched that Transformers movie because he liked that girl. Dude, you can't even be mad at Evgeny Malkin for that. That's pretty funny. I'm not a big Penguins guy, but still, that was awesome. So that's a little bit of hockey to get us started. Let me go ahead and pull that down. So that's always fun to get through that stuff. But let's go ahead and get into Salute Your Sports. We'll do that. And we'll wait for some of those other guys to get in here. I know they're coming. But we'll go ahead and drop into the Salute Your Sports. That was a nice little 10-minute intro there. Yeah, it did work, I guess. Right, you're right, Blue. Getting to know the chat and everybody. So we appreciate everybody showing up. let's hit the salute your sports drop. Everybody Okay, salute your sports. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The headlines from across the sports world. NFL is a little bit slow right now. That's fine. We already said it's football. Oh, I didn't even do the gin and tonic stat. Hang on. Gin often was made illegally in bathtubs by mixing cheap grain alcohol with juniper berry juice, which would lead to several illnesses and death. I forgot I wrote that. So that's a little dark. Let's bring it back to the light. Gin and tonic, absolute Debbie Downer right there. We don't need a Buzz Killington. We don't need that, ironically. But that's a gin and tonic fact, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so the headlines are as follows, and I've got slides to match these up. And going through this stuff, it doesn't I've hey, no problem here. We're still gonna have a good time. Number one is epic collapse by Houston. Okay, we got to go back to Monday night where the game is way too late. It's another one of those things on the list where, why is the Super Bowl on a Sunday? Why is the national title football game on a Monday at 9:30? Why is the national basketball game on a night? I feel like there should just can we not just fix this across all people who run sports and say, let's just all get on the same page here and just realize that watching a huge sporting event is best done on a Saturday, and let's just leave it at that and figure out how to do it then. I don't even care if I have to wait another week. I mean, obviously you don't want – could we push the national title game to Saturday? I mean, wouldn't that be awesome to have the Masters run right into national title game? Huh? For college basketball. Or maybe we'll get the Frozen Four title. I can't remember when the Frozen Four title game is. Dang it. But anyways, so we had the epic Houston duked themselves. They got duked. They duked themselves. What they did to Duke, they did to themselves. So the guy didn't even get the last shot off, whatever. I can't remember who the heck it was, but great closeout by the MVP, the tournament's most valuable player, Walter Clayton. Just ate up a whole bunch of space on that last shot. I mean, I feel terrible for that kid. Clayton went up to him after the game, and everybody was like, wow, he's, what a good sport. Hey, Clayton could have walked up to that dude who didn't get the shot off and just been like, hey, in your face, dude. In your face. Suck it. Better luck next year. Oh, wait, there is no next year. Who's saying that he went up there and gave him motivational encouragement or whatever? Nobody's saying that. So, but yeah. P. McCormick says fresh mint and gin on ice. Oh yeah. And Buckeye McGroin says whiskey for me. Let's go. And then number two, the story is Ovechkin continues. The Ovechkin stories just keep coming in. It's spectacular. And then we're living in Jurassic Park now, which is not good for all of us. They can't be. You can't. Every movie or show that ends with reviving zombies and things like that, it's just not going to be great. It won't end well, especially with the way AI is developing. It's just not going to happen. So, but those are the three things we're going to talk about. So we're not going to come back to this slide, but we're going to go through each one of these topics. So, Florida went from being eliminated in the first round of the NCAA tournament in 2024 last year to winning the national championship the very next year. What a turnaround. So they lost to Colorado last year as a 7 seed in the round of 64, and Colorado was a 10 seed. And then this year, they win and beat Houston 65-63, battle of the 1 seeds. Just some, Florida's road, when you look at the Ken Palm stuff, is absolutely outrageous. They were like the number 2 or 3 rated team, KenPom, whatever. I don't even, some people use that. They go by those rankings. And then they ended up beating like 6 through 10, and then Houston, I think, who was number 2. So just a stupid run. They were really good. I called this was the battle of, it was the battle of who wanted to come back, right? Both these teams all tournament had been coming back to beat teams. Like Houston got a lead, had no idea what to do with it. They didn't know what to do. They were like the dog that finally catches a car. They just what do we do? They went like 3 minutes without scoring a field goal. They had 4 straight turnovers in the last few minutes there. Like it was just bad, which is weird because their team was really old. But that last shot, dude. Oh, I thought it was interesting that the funniest thing I thought for Houston, like if I had to turn one thing and be like, this is my takeaway from the game, is that all those videos that came out of Houston, like doing get on the ball, wrestle for the ball, loose ball drills. The ball was on the court, on the ground in the national title game, and they couldn't even get it. So all that training they did with wrestling basketballs on the ground, when it push came to shove, they didn't get to do it. So, a lot of people in this game, it started, it was a close game, kind of back and forth. It was fun to watch. It wasn't like the best. Like Clayton was off shooting early. They didn't call a lot of fouls in the first half, and so you're sitting there thinking, oh, okay, this is, as a fan, you're like, they're letting the boys play. They're letting the boys play. And then in the second half, what's his face got that technical, and then it went on like a shout out Drew at work. He said the fouls went 11-1 in favor of Florida after that technical. So once that happens, I think they ended up getting over 20 fouls in the second half. So once that happens, you just like, your whole brain is like, I thought we were letting them play, and now we're just calling fouls all over the place. And it goes to ask the question, why would they want Florida to win? Now, granted, Florida beat like Missouri, Alabama, Tennessee in the SEC title game. And then they went, they beat Houston. I think they beat Texas Tech, who was ranked up there in the KenPom stuff. Like they were mowing people down. So it was a fun game to watch. I mean, I remember saying before, I'm like, these two teams aren't going to be able to get it going because they're both so used to like turning it on late, being like, we're the veteran team. We're the ones that if we get down, we're never out. And so it was a down but never out off is what it was. They just nobody wanted to get ahead because they knew the other team was going to come back. That's exactly what happened. So anyways, but the one shining moment was freaking hilarious too, because they did their best. They did their best to make it look like the first 2 to 3 rounds were really good. And it was a bunch of block shots and a bunch of like jump balls to start the game and coaches yelling and players yelling. It was not a lot of, you had the one buzzer beater from Queen from Maryland, like the inbound from Houston. Like there was not a lot of drama, but they tried their best. So the one shining, that song is dumb. As soon as that thing comes on, I'm like, this is, ugh. But shout out Florida, I guess. Poor Houston. Freaking Kelvin Sampson just standing there, just completely dumbfounded as the ball's just rolling around on the court. Unbelievable. Oh, so with that win, Florida now becomes the only school. This is from College Football Live, at College Football Live. Florida now becomes the only school with 3+ football and 3+ basketball national title games. And this is what from their tweet earlier. They said, in honor of college basketball starting, here are the teams of the NCAA official football national championships and basketball national championships. Arkansas did it in 64, 94. Cal was football champions like 5 times in the 20s and 30s, and then once in the basketball. Florida did national champions in football, 96, 06, and 08, and then they've done it 06, 07, and 25 in basketball. Maryland's done it. Michigan's done it in football and basketball. Michigan State has done it football, basketball. Ohio State has done it football and basketball. They don't have Ohio State's 2024 one on here yet. Stanford has done it in both Syracuse and UCLA. Now, a lot of these are dated. So this is interesting. You've got 2 SEC schools and the Big Ten, basically. So, all right, Blue. Hey, thanks for popping in here, Blue. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Dude, get you a pimento cheese sandwich. It's Masters. What you don't know? What do you mean you don't know what you're having? Get a pimento cheese sandwich. It's Masters week. Come on, Blue. So that's a pretty cool stat. And then the tournament player of the year was most outstanding player was Walter Clayton. That knows he didn't. I mean, he was clutch late there with even on defense late. Like that closeout he had and he was all over him late, like defensively. And he was incredible the whole entire tournament. I think he had back-to-back 30-point games. He's the only other person to do that in the tournament, like the Final Four, Elite Eight, was Larry Bird or something stupid. It was something crazy. So it was a pretty cool story for him. A whole beef bowl from this. Hey, man, I made steak, broccoli, and onions tonight. No rice or anything. Got a beef strip coming up, Blue. So shout out Walter Clayton. That guy probably made himself, I don't know how many millions of dollars. But that was outrageous. So who's another guy in basketball that could say he made himself a ton of money? There were a couple of couple guys you can think of off the top of your head. That'd be an interesting debate. Which basketball player in the tournament made themselves the most money? Right? That'd be a cool debate. And this is from JBR Bracketology. Shout out JBR, getting a shout out on Pardon My Take. Shout out Pardon My Take for shouting out people. Kudos to you guys. So the final 2025 NCAA results by multi-bid conference. The Big 12, Western, and West Coast Conference outperformed their expectations this tournament. The Mountain West and Big East had the worst performance, and the SEC had a mammoth 14 bids. 20 wins, 20.73 expected wins, and still outperformed expectations, with Florida winning the Natty. The Big 12 had 7 bids. They had 11 expected wins. They got 14. And then the West Coast had 2 bids. They had 2 wins. Big 10 had 8 bids. They had 13 wins. SEC had 14 and 23 wins. The ACC had 4 bids. They had 5 wins. The Big East, not great. So, but that's always cool to see that. Shout out JBR. Love seeing that stuff. And here's the real reason they wanted to get the refs involved, ladies and gentlemen. The SEC amassed $77.6 million for March Madness success. I think, no. There was some, they get each win or each level, they go further. They get more money. It's just like the NBA, NFL playoffs. So, and it just makes you wonder, guys. It just makes you wonder. The SEC, $77.6 million from this March Madness. And people wonder, where does that money come from? Well, they cycle that money right back in cahoots with the TV deals and the broadcasts and all this stuff. So you can pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, but I can also read the tea leaves. And when money is involved, there will be favoritism shown. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So just interesting. And then the final piece from this game. Some Big J journalists are throwing a fit because a Florida student reporter had the audacity to get excited during a national championship. Yeah, she kept this chick was Bennett, whatever his name was, who scored a late bucket to get the over in one of those games. Walk-on guy, and was famous and viral for having his interview with this chick right here. She filmed herself getting excited because she was in the media box, and all the people who all the people who cover sports that pretty much have thrown away their fandom, they have to peacock around and be like, look, I don't get to be a fan, and that's what you have to sacrifice to get trust with the players. Shut up. Shut up. Right? You wonder why people are gravitating more towards outsourced media, not mainstream media. It's because you guys think you own everything. Just relax. She was excited. Who cares? What's it matter? What's it matter? Leave her alone. Anyways, it doesn't matter anyways. Like, why do you have to give? You're writing an article about her getting excited about writing articles because her team won. Get over it. Maybe show a little more passion, reporters. Maybe how about that? All right, let's move on. We move on to the Ovechkin. Edge sent this picture to me. I don't know where he got it, but pretty cool. The Ovechkin mania is still sweeping the nation. They just clinched the Metro too. I just saw a graphic too of the Caps. They've won the Metro like 9 times out of the last 15 years. But this is a picture when Ovechkin was drafted and Gretzky had 8 at his goals, and then they took a picture underneath. It was Gretzky 894 and Ovechkin 895. That's crazy. Well, that's just crazy. Just crazy. That's pretty cool. And I love, ESPN got a hold of Ovechkin scoring. They brought PK Subban on. And of course, they had to do the who's the GOAT debate. They did a cross sport, cross NBA, cross whatever. Who's more the GOAT? Whose scoring title means more, Ovechkin or LeBron? And so Subban and Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith were debating whose all-time scoring record means more, LeBron or Ovechkin. They did it. They figured out another way to cross. It's like what's that movie? The Quantum Realm. Whenever they figured out how to go, the Avengers figured out how to go back into the Quantum Realm and change the parallels of time. They figured out how to. People were tired of hearing the LeBron MJ. So they needed somebody else to get a scoring record so that they could put it up against that too. Holy smokes. So shout out First Take for even thinking of that. And I know that they're just sitting back in their chairs being like, wow, that was genius. Look at all this engagement. But it's just like, a bunch of idiots, man. Like, we're laughing at you, not with you. So, but anyways. And then shout out to Budweiser, okay? With this whole Ovechkin thing, Budweiser Zero sent all 28 goaltenders who blanked Ovechkin in their careers. Budweiser sent them a Budweiser Zero can in a limited edition box saying Budweiser Zero of 895, meaning 895 goals, the greatest goal scorer of all time, couldn't score on these kings of zero. So they sent him a non-alcoholic beer. That's incredible. Shout out Budweiser. That's pretty funny. Not going to drink your beer, but shout out. That's Cujo, Curtis Joseph. Awesome hockey mask. Awesome nickname. And then finally we get to, I was hoping Tex would be here, but he's not. The Colossal Biosciences. So this said, this video that was sent, you're hearing the first dire wolf. We got it. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing? I mean, this is not going to end well. It's just not going to end well. I think we all know that. Or it's just going to be really sad. The first dire wolf was howling in over 10,000 years. Meet Romulus and Remus, the world's first de-extinct animals, born on October 1st, 2024. De-extinct. This is weird. Where's Jeff Goldblum? Life will find a way. It has been extinct for over 10,000 years. These two wolves were brought back from extinction using genetic edits derived from a complete direwolf genome, meticulously reconstructed by Colossal from ancient DNA. First of all, where do they get access to this stuff? And these things are from 72,000 years ago. It's not only a milestone for a company, but also a leap for science, conservation, and humanity. From the beginning, our goal has been clear to revolutionize history and the first company to use CRISPR technology to successfully de-extinction of previously lost species. By achieving this, we continue to push forward our broader mission, accepting humanity's duty to restore Earth to a healthier state. How? Okay. How is bringing something back to life, restoring Earth to a healthier state from the depths? It's not just our motto, it's one for our science and our planet and humankind and all which we love, we're passionate about. Close your eyes and listen to the howl. That makes bringing things back from the dead is not, I don't know that makes things healthier. That just means, this is like when guys got together in college and you're like, how do we make the beer pong table not fall over or throw the balls back to us so we don't, like, that's the kind of stuff this makes me think of. Is like these guys just got together and be like, you want to try to revive a wolf that was 10,000 years ago? And all of his buddies are like, yeah, dude, that would be sweet, wouldn't it? And what are you going to do with this wolf? Where is the money coming from? Who funded this? Like, who paid for this? Because that's probably millions of dollars trying to figure all that stuff out. Anyways, the dire wolf. How about it? Okay. That's enough of the dire wolf stuff. Let's that's a way to lead it in there. We got a little water cooler debate real quick. Let's do that real quick. How about that? Everybody shh.
Are you serious?
Oh my God, you're an idiot.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, water cooler debate. Not a true water cooler debate, solo. So I put one in there just to be safe. This was choose one mask to wear, and you'll gain all of the abilities from the character who wears it. And so I was looking through this, and I don't really know what all these masks do. I'm not really sure what the top right one is. It looks like something from 300 or maybe even what's that movie that what's his face is in? Gladiator. But you got the Green Power Ranger, you got Batman, you got Black Panther, you got the Mask, the Jim Carrey, you got Darth Vader, Deadpool. I forget who that is. I don't know who this is. Not entirely sure who that is. Boba, the Mandalorian, and then Venom. So if I were to choose one just to live out my childhood, it'd be hard not to be the Black Panther for one, but definitely the Green Ranger. The Green Ranger was a certified stud. So if I'm picking one from this list, it's 100% the Green Ranger. Playing that little flute and then the dragon comes out, dude, save the franchise, save the series, save the team. Put the team on his back. So then he morphs into the White Ranger, which shout out to my mom for going around trying to find the White Tiger Zord for who knows how long. So I don't know what this guy over here is. Looks like the Joker or the mustache with the goatee or the soul patch, whatever. And some of these the others, like two more, I don't know what they are. Magneto. Is that Magneto? Oh, maybe that's Magneto. I don't know who this green-eyed guy is. But that's Magneto. So we're down to two that I don't know. So anyways, I just thought that was worth a little. Again, I come across these things like, man, that'd be fun to talk about. Okay. It's time. We've spent enough time. We're going to get to the Masters. Let's do it. Everybody, if you're allergic to electric guitar solos, cover your ears because it's about to get ripping in here. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about the Masters first. Right out of the gate, ladies and gentlemen. Right out of the gate. Hold on. Let me send a quick little, let me remind myself, 35 minutes. Masters. Okay. I've got all kinds of stuff here. G.U.Y.S sent in some memes to get the Masters week started, I think yesterday or on Monday or whatever. It's Tiger hanging out with this, is this Trump? what's Melania? I don't know who it is. One of the Trumps. This is the post they did where he said, "Please give us some time and space. We don't want to be bothered about our relationship." So his girl, Tiger's girl, they're laying on the hammock, and J.U.Y.S said, "Men," and then Tiger is the Masters, and it's those two. Please respect our privacy at this time. We're just going to watch the Masters. Oh, and with this same meme, we made another meme that says, "We're the girl laying across Tiger's chest," and it says, "Us and you." And then Tiger is our $1 Masters DraftKings contest, which is in the comments or in the show description. So go join our contest for $1. J.U.Y. also made a meme of the infamous JMU sideline kick return where J.U.Y. is laying face down in the turf on about the 15-yard line, arms behind him, returner hurdling him as he goes into the end zone for a touchdown on a kickoff return. And that guy is the Masters Week, which is the guy hurdling him. J.U.Y. laying on the floor is his wife's chores, and then me is the other JMU guy celebrating. So then we've got Luka Doncic crying meme, and J.U.Y. said, "Thanking God, quote, we've made it. Masters starts tomorrow." Luka crying face. Then we've got the golf guys as Mark Zuckerberg, and then Masters Week is Jeff Bezos' wife with her with that shirt she wore to the inauguration. Let's get into so before we start this, there's a lot of like news and tidbits that have come out to start the Masters. So if you hear me take a break, I'm taking a drink. But let's get through some of the news and notes that we've heard thus far leading up. Golly, that grass. Just don't you just want to go? I wish I could like vote on the grass of like if I could just go take a nap, if I could just go take a sleeping bag and a pillow and just pick where I could go. That's what they should do one day, is be like, Augusta should just offer, "Hey, you and your buddies get, one night to come out and sleep on the grounds, do like a tent, and just sleep there in the off season when it's not the Masters." So, and another cool fact I heard from Minwoo Lee is that the gift shop at Augusta is only Masters apparel during Masters week. So after that, the Masters turns back into Augusta National gear. So that's really the flex, not the Masters stuff, because everybody can buy that who goes to the Masters. So here's a study from Tour Golf that they posted. It says from Health magazine or Health website. Productivity at work drops by 97.5% during Masters Week, a study shows. Researchers have identified a direct correlation between a decline in workplace productivity and Masters Week, according to a recent study. I did not read the study. I saw I saw it. Yes, B. McCormick, you can just take your shoes off. I'm telling you, dude, I would love to just do that. That'd be hilarious. So that's work productivity is going to drop tomorrow. It starts at 8. I got to get my DraftKings lineups done. I'm in the 20 max. Let's go. I love the 20 max, especially for the majors. It's my favorite. So for people who don't know, as I'm wearing my green jacket, here's 15 things you get. This was who is this from? I can't remember. His name's on here again, but 15 things you get as Masters champ. People don't know this. Let me shout this guy out because I couldn't screenshot and like pass along all that stuff. But the guy, Jamie Kennedy, director of digital content of Golf Digest, he put together this little, I just consolidated into our slide. So if you get 15 things you get as Masters champ: green jacket, you get an engraving on the Masters trophy, you get a trophy replica, you get a gold medal, you get a gold locket, you get a champions dinner, membership for life, you get a locker in the champions room, you get a champions only range, like driving range, which their range session is like $140 million or something. You get a lifetime invite to the Masters. You get an absurd amount of points in the FedEx and official golf world rankings. I think it's 750 in FedEx and 100 in the golf rankings. You get $3.6 million. You get a 5-year major and PGA Tour exemption. And the last thing, the 15th thing, you get a special tee time. When it's Masters week, you get to go and play golf with somebody of your choice. So at a special tee time, I think Scotty Scheffler took his mom this year. That was nice. So those are the 15 things you get as Masters champ. I did not know all that. I did not know about the gold medal, the gold locket too. I mean, the coolest thing on there that I didn't know, I don't know. I mean, you know about the points, the money, and the exemptions and that sort of thing, but the gold locket, that's kind of cool. Now the weather. This is from the Weather Channel. Usually I get the PGA update, but they didn't have it ready yet. So the weather. Now, if you remember last year, the year before, and the year before that, I think all the way back to 2022, we have had, like last year, they had to delay tee times. There were some pretty gnarly storms, and the wind was whipping around. So the last 3 years have had, and the year before that, there was rain delays and thunder delays and things like that. And so it's been a while since we've been able to just get up there and play a 4-day Masters tournament without some shenanigans going on from the weather. So but yeah, so we the 4-day, it did rain early in the week, so that's they were trying to figure out. Most of the players were talking about that, and then you had Hurricane Helene that came through that kind of knocked out a bunch of trees and stuff. And so they, listening to the players talk. I mean, I watch everything about this week. Like I get home and I just leave live at the Masters on for like 17 straight hours. But you get you get to hear the players talk about some of the trees got knocked down at Helene, like during Helene, and that has changed some of the tee shot looks on some of the holes. So you'll see that kind of make a deal there. Oh, Texas here. How about that? Got here just in time. He missed the Direwolf talk. I will get his opinion on that though. We got to. But anyway, so on Thursday, tomorrow, we get 75, a little cloud, little wind, little chance of rain, but 75, pretty much partly cloudy. Friday, we get 70, a little chance of precipitation goes up. I've seen anywhere from 24 to 40%. The wind's a little heavier. And then Saturday, 67. G.U.Y.S is there, by the way. He's working that stuff. We get 7-mile-an-hour winds, no rain. And then Sunday, look at Sunday, not a cloud in the sky. Oh, my God, we deserve it. We deserve it after the last 3 years of Masters we've gotten. It makes me sad whenever I get mad. Like, I just get upset. So, shout out Masters weather. Good work. Good work. Now, the fact that they send out a mowing report. Here's what the Masters does. They know it too. If they didn't know what they were doing, they would not put this out. But they put the details, cut of the grass on the golf course. So the tees, 5/16 inch, fairways 3/8 of an inch, second cut is 1 3/8 inch, collars 1/4 inch, green surrounds 5/16 of an inch, same as the tee, and then the greens are 1/8 of an inch. So this is an absolute dandy. I mean, look at it. Looks fake. It looks 100% fake. Oh, Texas here. There he goes. Tex. I just got to the mowing. Shout out me. Get out a bunch of grass seed Monday, and then it rained. How about that?
Should work out good for you.
Well, it should be coming up as soon as you get into town. Should be getting a little splatter there.
We can go out there and just tear it up,
Just go hit some golf balls, get the kids all out there, just bring their cleats.
Yeah, trample it.
What do you think of this? What do you think of this cut, these details of the cut grass?
I'm a big fan of all things Masters details. I love it. It looks like a nice, a little bit of trench warfare there. Got these nice, huge, deep gullies. And the juxtaposition of the rough, the dark rough against the light green of the fairways and the greens and the bunkers. Beautiful. No forgiveness. I love it.
Love it. It just feels good. I got my Masters jacket on, so I got it. Where do you sit on the dire wolf stuff? I just went over that like 15 minutes ago.
So, in general, they're not really truly dire wolves. They're just these wolves that have some DNA of a dire wolf.
What
I'm
is a
guessing they're
dire
hoping
wolf?
they can eventually matric. It's just an extinct type of wolf.
Okay.
It sounds really cool, and it was really romanticized in the in that Game of Thrones show that nobody watched because it was dumb.
Dude, so everybody was telling me. I'm like, I don't know what that show is. So
Yeah, but yeah, that's my hot take.
I mean, I
on it.
know
My
what
hot
it
take
is, but I like.
hot take is stop trying to do this. This is dumb. If they're gone, they're probably gone for a reason. So we should all just take a minute, channel our Dr. Ian Malcolm, and and say, what are we doing here? What are we trying to do?
Did you like that GIF I sent into the family?
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Life will find a way. So I just had to get your take on that.
Finds a way.
Life finds.
Start talking
Also,
about
did you
chaos theory and
see?
everything else?
I'm gonna go back for a second. You got to see this. I've all going through all G.U.Y.S memes again. The Budweiser Zero sent out cans of Budweiser Zero to goalies that Ovechkin never scored on. So it's called the Budweiser Zero 895. That's pretty good.
It can't be many of them.
No, I think it was 28 goalies.
Oh, okay.
28 goalies.
Yeah.
Never
That's
Budweiser
like
sucks,
over his whole career at 20 years, 28. That's not
28
too shabby.
goalies got a can of Budweiser Zero. Okay, Tex. Let's get to some more news. Cam Smith is out there in a 3-piece suit. Thoughts? He's one of your favorite golfers, isn't he?
Yeah, I played him a bunch of lineups this weekend. For me, I love it. He's going back to the traditional golf. Make golf traditional again. Meta. Make golf Magta.
Imgata.
Make golf traditional again. Get these guys out there playing 3-piece suits. I like it.
I think they should.
I just wish. I think
if you don't make the cut every time you come back that you do play it, if you don't make the cut, you have to add an article. Got to add another article of clothing.
Yeah, he should go with the full saddle shoes and have a pocket watch.
That was awesome. Now, your
100%
guy,
he should be smoking a pipe.
I don't know. Your guy here came back with a strong showing too. Victor Hovland walked in.
Hey, you know what that means?
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Coming with the outfits again. Maybe he's going to be back to regular Victor.
Look at this, dude. He's got like the 1995
Scandinavian
Christmas sweater.
assassin.
Like, look at this thing, dude.
Yep.
Shout out Victor Hovland.
Looking like a dude on the ski slopes with the wild outfit. That's what he's looking like.
He also made an 8 Mile reference in one of his press conferences. I don't know what that was all about, but he was on. Victor Hovland was on one, dude.
Hey, maybe he's ready. He's locked in.
So we had Cam Smith, we had Victor Hovland, then we had Max Homa hitting 7 million balls on the practice range.
Hey, he's trying to get himself locked in, I guess. Is that one going? Is that one going way out there in the woods? Is there one out there in the woods somewhere?
Yes, way left.
All right.
All this wasn't making sense. Everybody's like, "What happened to Max Homa's game? Like he just fell off a planet. His caddy left him. His caddy went with JT. This and that, and he's just falling off a cliff. And then, Max Homa split with and he's hitting 7 million balls on the ranges. He's never going home. He's just hitting golf ball after golf ball after golf ball. He split with his caddy. Said it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his choice. We always had a deal that we're friends. Friendship mattered more. This and that. So he leaves and goes to Justin Thomas. And then I see this picture. Max Homa announced that they are expecting their second child. This right here is why Max Homa has he's a dad.
Yep.
I have more respect for him. He's a normal dude.
That's why he's out there hitting 240 balls. He's like, all right, this is the only time I get to be away, so I'm going to maximize my time. That's exactly. You know what? If there was a tracker on my fishing lures, whenever I get to go fishing, it's probably about what it would look like. It'd be like, all right, I made 350 casts in an hour. There was no talking. There was nothing else. There was no changing lures. I was just out there throwing it.
Yep.
So I get it now.
But I'm endeared more to Max Homa now because I'm like, he's over here I'm trying to figure it out. I'm back. Like, no, you're not, dude. You're just saying you're going to work. And
Yep.
It's like we just did a study that men spend 7 hours on the toilet trying to get some peace and quiet. You're spending 7 hours on the range every day, just basically wrecking your swing because it's noisy at home sometimes.
Because whenever you get home, you can't be thinking about golf.
No. So that was just it all made sense. I was like, he's a dad. It makes sense why because his game has probably faltered just a little bit just because you care about your kids and your family, and that's fine, dude. It happens to everybody.
Yep.
By the way, I'm coaching flag football again.
Love that.
Walked out there tonight. The guy who runs the league turned around and he goes, "Thank God you're here." He said, "Do you want to coach?" I was like, "Absolutely." He goes, "Yes."
You should have said, "You see this clipboard here? You see my boot? You see my extra tough boots?"
Now I'm going to have to get a bigger whiteboard than you. I'm going to have to get one of those ones that has wheels that I got to take out there.
You know what? I've got 2 of them. You can have one.
No, I need a bigger one.
Okay.
I need to have one out there that basically I just hook to a drone.
I've got another big one in the garage too that I was carrying around the first practice. It's like
you're like Chip Kelly with the noodles.
Oh yeah, it's 4x6. So I was carrying that around for the first practice. I was like, I can't do this. This is way too big.
So that Max Homa stuff makes sense now. This was the total range balls. This again from Jamie Kennedy. That's the guy I was trying to shout out. So the total range balls. Everybody else, the 2 guys that are hitting a gazillion balls. Jordan Spieth hit 133. Max Homa hit 247. DeChambeau hit 240. But DeChambeau is just a psychopath anyways. All the other people hit between 30 and 60. Spieth and Homa. We got to get an alert on if Spieth's wife is pregnant again. That would be a hilarious correlation, I would have to say.
33.
Here's the Masters dinner from Tuesday night, dude. Scotty with an absolute banger menu. Mm-hmm. Everybody's cracking. So here's Scotty with he's drinking a little bit of scotch there. Scotchy Scheffler. Mm-hmm. That should be his alter
Johnny
ego.
Red Meat.
That's right. Scotty has the sniffles too, dude. Scotty's got the sniffles. So look at all his green jackets. I look just like him in mine. Mm-hmm. And then there's Phil again taking an absolute psychopath picture. And then there's an absolute blue chip left tackle in here named Nick Faldo, whose head is gigantic, and he looks like a left tackle, dude. You forget how big Sir Nick Faldo is. Him and John Rahm. But anyways, some of these, it's just funny. So Phil Mickelson standing behind Scotty after he talked trash to him, and beside Fred Couples, so Phil just rubbing elbows up in there. I wanted to do a little Scotty appreciation slideshow. Scotty Scheffler has the lowest career scoring average, a minimum of 20 rounds, at 70.4 at the Masters. Scotty versus the field in his Masters career since 2020, 60 or almost 70% greens in regulation, 4.5 par 5 scoring, birdie or better at 17% on the par 4, scrambling at 63%, 1 putts per round, 7.4. Scotty just owns this course, dude. He owns this freaking course.
I'm trying to look at my exposure so I could see how much I played him.
Here's some more. You want some more, Scotty? The last 3 years, his master rank, scoring average first, birdies are better first, bogey avoidance first, par 5 scoring first, strokes gained off the tee first, greens in regulation first, strokes gained approach first, strokes gained around the green first. The last 3 years, Scotty Scheffler has just put this course in a body bag, dude. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
That's pretty good.
Eight major statistical categories, Scotty Scheffler, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's not going to return your investment if you bet on him." It's like, I'm going to bet on the guy who is first in everything, literally.
Yeah, I was going to go there as well because I played him in 19% of my lineups. I made 20 lineups.
You played him
he's in at least 4 or
that's
5.
What I'm going to do. I'm going to do 3 to 4.
So I got him in 5, but I've also got like my highest exposure. I don't know why I did this like this, but I
Let's
did.
go.
My top guys, Bryson DeChambeau,
Mm,
who's hungry. He's
mm.
probably the most hungry of all the guys.
Doesn't have kids either, I don't think.
Doesn't have kids. Matsuyama,
Mm.
Kepka.
Ooh.
Well, I got a bunch of dudes who are tied at 3 for 19%.
Mm.
But my top two, DeChambeau, Matsuyama. DeChambeau's in 38%. Matsuyama's in 24% of my
Big
lineups.
DeChambeau guy, huh?
Apparently. And then I got at 19% of my lineups, I got Kepka, DJ, Jason Day, Auberg, Cantlay, McIntyre, Henley, Scheffler, more, and then dropping down to 14% is Morikawa, Schauffele's, Willie Z, Lowry, Reed, Kim, Mike Kim, Billy Goats Bump, McNeely,
Yes, Millie Goats bump. Millie Goats
Lee,
Mike.
Neiman, Spawn. And then it drops off after that.
Mm.
Got a pretty diverse
I like Henley. Henley's a good
selection.
one. He's on fire.
Yeah, he is. That's why I played him.
Henley's on fire.
You had to, if you're going to play Scotty, you had to dig deep into the barrel and play a couple of low guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had McCarty a few times.
Yep.
Pavon, hopefully he'll catch on at Cavaria. He was hot for a minute last year.
Pavon.
I put one with Phil Mickelson. Got to have a Phil lineup.
Yep. You're lefty.
Yep. And
As
a Sergio lineup. I got a Sergio lineup.
Sergio.
Yep.
Sergio. Pavon finished 12th there last year, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sergio was in the top, wasn't he? And then the year before that, Phil Mickelson finished like 5th.
Phil Mickelson eats this course alive. The guy, I mean, course history is huge here, dude. It's huge.
Yeah.
Well,
he probably gets to play it on a regular basis too.
Yeah.
He probably just plays it once a month.
Probably. Scotty, best cumulative score to par since 2020 at 32 under. 11 strokes ahead of second, 17 strokes ahead of third. Eats this course alive. He eats it alive. We also had the par 3 contest. Nicholas Echevarria.
Played him.
The person who has won this contest, I think, has never won the actual tournament.
Played him.
So doesn't mean they won't finish.
To make the cut. That's all I need.
Just make the cut.
Just make the cut, guy.
Top 50 makes the cut, by the way. So yeah. 95 golfers, top 50 in ties, 3.6 milli to the winner. But yeah, there was 3 hole-in-ones today. 2 on number 6. Brooks Koepka had one. Keegan Bradley. And I cannot remember I can't remember. Maybe it was Echevarria. But it was Keegan Bradley and Brooks Koepka. I know there was 2 on 6, 2 hole-in-ones on 6, and then there was 1 on 4. So there you go. Echevarria. Not a good sign. Cancel him. All right, here's the best spurts golf from Ron Close. This course, off the tee, 12th easiest. Driving distance in 2024 was the highest, recorded at 301.5. Few hazards and the second widest fairways lead to 71%. I mean, off the tee is where you can eat this course alive. It's just, that's the only metric where you have an advantage relative to other courses. A second toughest course to gain on approach because the greens, I mean, that's what they are. That's, specific angles to tricky pin positions on firm greens are key. Even with non-penal rough, errant drives in the wrong spot lead to lowest green regulation rate when missing the fairway. So if you hit it in the fairway, you can eat it up. The most difficult course to gain strokes around the green because golfers lose an average of negative 0.11 strokes per every short grass chip. The toughest course to gain strokes putting. The toughest course to gain strokes putting. You don't have to be a great putter, but it's tough to gain them on putting. Inside 5 feet is very average. Greens get progressively more difficult each foot away from the hole, leading to a 4.24 3-putt percentage. Hardest par 4s by a large margin. 4th toughest par 3s. You got to score on the par 5s, which have a birdie or better rate of 41.9%. Got to eat the par 5s, dude. This is the reason for Ron Close again. One of the most essential areas players will have to conquer en route to victory will be the 4 par 5s. It's evident the par 4s and par 3s are above average normally. So the last year, Scotty's par 5 scoring when he won it was 9 under. John Rahm's in 2023, he was 10 under on the par 5. Scotty again in 22 was 8 under on the par 5s. Hideki was 11 under in 2021 on the par 5s. And Dustin Johnson was usually the only person who wasn't significantly under par was Danny Willett in 2016. Everybody else ate the par 5s alive. And they were average -3 under on the par 4s. So they absolutely ripped up the par 5s. And so guys who are really good at par 5 scoring eat this course alive. I wouldn't say eat it alive, but they have a significant advantage if they're a good ball striker.
Yeah.
So the highest trends, this is another one from Ron Close. Course experience matters here more than anywhere. A long shot winner is improbable. Pay no attention to that when I give out the sexy 6-pack. Okay? There might be one that's 90,000 plus 90,000. Maybe. Recent winning experience is significant. Current form, especially tee to green, is paramount. An elite putter is not required. See, there you go. Bomber's paradise. So unrestricted feeling of being able to swing away amid a wide swath of parkland. He believed that good drives should be rewarded by not staying out of the penalty areas, but by making the second shot simpler in proportion to the excellence of the first. Feasting on the par 5s, tight, uneven lies around the green bring out the best short gamers. So you need all that.
So this is not a Brian Harmon course.
This is not a Brian Harmon course. No. People who can absolutely melt. That's why Rory not winning here is crazy. It doesn't make sense. He's like one of the longest hitters on tour, if not the longest hitter. Since 2021, a percentage of Masters round under par among 6+ rounds. Scotty, 75%. 75% of Scotty's rounds, the last 6 rounds, are under par. That's stupid, dude. Second with the most under par, minimum 6 rounds, Willie Z.
Played him.
Willie Z gets 67% of his rounds under par the last 6 rounds. Morikawa almost is at 56%. Spieth, get the hell out of here. I'm not doing it, Spieth. Not doing it. Not doing it, Spieth.
I played him some. I only played Rory in 10% of my lineups because I don't trust him.
You don't trust him?
No.
You're gonna love this slide I have later then. So this is just a, screenshot this if you'd like. BMO says it feels like a Bryson kind of weekend day. Tex played a lot of Bryson, dude.
Played a lot of them. All up on some DeChambeau.
Yeah, so this is a cool chart. I just thought it was awesome. Some of these names are surprising, sub 72 Masters rounds since 2021. Keegan Bradley, I like him.
Played him.
Xander. Ooh, you're gonna see some. Anyways, we don't need to go through all
Played
the
him.
names. We don't need to
played him.
ooh and ah. Ooh.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that.
Billy Horschel. 2 rounds.
Tasty little hamburger there.
Mm-hmm.
Some Horschel sauce on that one.
Yeah. Save a Horschel, ride a cowboy.
Yeah.
All right. Here's where everybody's going, ladies and gentlemen. This is Golf Tips Checker Elite account. They have 256 tips, meaning 250 tips to who people are betting on, over 50 sources. The biggest piece of the pie on the betting market is Colin Morikawa. People believe that Mr. I hate the media. Everybody don't yell at me for not talking to the media. This is the media. He's turned into the Kevin Durant of the golf league. Everybody has to think they need to yell at the media, whatever. Who is 56% of his rounds have been under par the last 6 times. Everybody likes him. And then Bobby McIntyre at 45-1. Then John Rahm. Then Henley. Then Shane Lowry. Then people like Sepp Straka this week. Xander Schauffele. And then Brooks Koepka. So this is where all the people like Morikawa at his value. I don't know. I think he was close here last year, wasn't he? I think he does. Let's yeah, I've got all this stuff pulled up, by the way, too, where I just can the Masters website and the Masters app is just spectacular. So good. Like you can literally I don't know if all of them are like that. I have no idea. But yeah, he finished third last year. Wow. He cooks this course, dude. Top in 21, he finished 18th. 22, he finished 5th. 23, he finished 10th. 24, he finished 3rd. It's just because he's such a good iron player. Huh. People like Morikawa. There you go. Now, Tex, it says don't pick a long shot. But if you were to look at this list, who from this list of long shots would you put an E unit on? Okay. This is from plus 5,000 and above. Is exactly right, my friend. Now, there's a couple of names
here
that stick out to me. I like Denny McCarthy. This is his second time playing. He's an absolute putting savant, and he's been playing really good golf. So I would say Denny McCarthy plus 15,000. Not advice, but
I played McIntyre in 19% of my lineups.
He's a lefty too.
Well, that's my guy.
There you go. Okay.
I'll put an E unit on him right now.
To win this thing, do top 5.
It.
Okay, do it. This is a great list. Bobby Mack, dude. He's a lefty. He's a lefty. Okay. Here are the marquee Masters groups. At 9:47, we got Group 12, which is Morikawa, Neiman, and Minwoo Lee. Right after them, we got Phil Mickelson, Keegan Bradley, Jason Day. That's a nice little group. That should be a fun one. And then we've got Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas, and Ballester, the amateur from Spain, España. And then we've got, dude, this Group 15.
Well, McIntyre's at plus 6,000 now on DraftKings.
Oh, even longer. He was at 5,500 there. So this Group 15, dude, I just need a camera on that group at all time. It's Tyrrell Hatton and Jordan Spieth. I mean, they could be hitting balls off the top of hospitality suites for all we know, and throwing clubs into the river. Then we got Finau, McNeely, and Dietrich. Dietrich's hot too now. He's finished top 15 in his last 3 major tournaments. Dietrich's so hot right now. He's Hansel. And then you got Koepka, Henley, and Eam. And then you've got Adam Scott, Schauffele, and Hovland. McIlroy, Oberg, and Batia. That's a sexy little group. And you got Matsuyama, DeChambeau, and Lowry. That's an interesting group. And then Rahm, Wyndham Clark, and Tommy Fleetwood. And then our guy at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Get him out of the gate. Masters Mike Kim. Check out the interview. 8 o'clock, 8:02 tomorrow. Off the tee with the Canadian and Cameron Young. Should be an entertaining matchup. And then we've got Jaeger, Harmon, and Corey Connors. Corey Connors hosting the Ontario boys. Absolutely phenomenal. Harmon off the win. And then Stefan Jaeger. I don't know why I circled that one, but those are the ones. The Spieth, Tom Kim, and Tyrrell Hatton one is just that's going to be cinema. Insert cinema meme right now. Okay, Tex. I did an exercise for the Masters. Are you ready? So I took the top 12 betting odds, and I equated them to an NFL team. Here we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it goes straight in order: Scotty, Rory, Rahm, Morikawa, DeChambeau, Xander, Aberg, Thomas, Koepka, Hideki, Neiman, Fleetwood. So I put an NFL team with each one of them, who they thought to me. Scotty Scheffler, I did Kansas City Chiefs because he's always there, always winning a division. You just look up. It's boring to watch him play because he's just always doing the same thing. Nothing is spectacular anymore. They just at the end of the season and the day, he's at the top always. Okay. Rory McIlroy, San Francisco 49ers. He cannot win the big one. He can't win the Masters. He hasn't done it. Everything on God's green earth would lead you to believe that Rory McIlroy should win the Masters. Hits it a mile, great shape, huge history, 5 Super Bowls for the Niners, pedigree, there all the time, in contention. And what's he do? Lip out a 3-footer at the U.S. Open. What's he do? Poop the bed on the back nine at the Masters. Just rip your heart out, dude. Make himself a meme. Just absolutely pathetic. I mean, he's a great
I would have
golfer.
gone also the Chargers of the early 2000s.
I had the Bolts logo out there, but I just was like, Rory's, he can't win this tournament. It's just like the Niners. They'll get to 17 NFC championships and 4 Super Bowls, and they won't win it. Like, he'll get to all the other important games and win those. But he just won't win the one that would complete, that would get his Infinity Stones. And then John Rahm, I put the Steelers. Just because at Augusta he's never finished outside like the top 10. He's never had a losing season. He always makes the playoffs.
Yep.
He's the Steelers. Morikawa's the Packers. Morikawa, when he played his inaugural his two majors, he won those, the Open and the PGA. The first time he played them, I think 20 and 21. And then it's just like, whoa, that was great. And then he's always around in the playoffs, but just, doesn't. He's there. It's just he doesn't win them. He just falls apart. So DeChambeau is the Eagles. He's loud, ridiculous, gets on people's nerves. You don't know if you hate them or you love them, but you had to love them because you wanted them to end the Chiefs dynasty. And you have to like DeChambeau because he's doing the YouTube golf, and he has won the big one. He won the U.S. Open. He competes at the Masters. He's not everybody's taste. People who like DeChambeau are big DeChambeau people. So he's the Eagles. That's fair, right?
Yeah.
Xander is the Detroit Lions. Xander said he couldn't win the big one. Couldn't do this. Couldn't do that for years. Finally, he got into the big one and won it with winning some majors last year. That was his big thing. He could never win a major. I think he won 2 last year. And now he's got all the success. He's just like the Lions. The Lions for years and decades couldn't win playoff games, couldn't host playoff games. Now that they're in there, they're complaining already about trying to make sure that the playoff games favor them. So Xander is the Detroit Lions.
I was also thinking Xander was kind of like the Dan Marino Dolphins.
Could win the big one.
Well, he never won because he's always second to Scotty.
Oh.
Just like Marino was always second to Elway. Or Joe Montana.
That's where I had Tommy Fleetwood as the Ravens. Because Tommy Fleetwood will never win, has never won, as long as the Chiefs are there and Patrick Mahomes is there. So I don't think Tommy Fleetwood's won on American soil. I should have put him as the Jags.
Should have
been the Jags for Tommy Fleetwood just because he's from overseas. Ludwig Oberg is the Dolphins. Looks like an absolute sports car. All the looks, all the style, all the skills. Couldn't close a deal last year.
Nope.
Yep.
So he's the Dolphin. They fell apart. The team locker room seems like it was falling apart there.
Yep. So we're footballing the Masters right now. So
draft is in a couple weeks.
Yep. Shout out us. Justin Thomas is the Cowboys. It's like, okay, how many times are we going to watch Justin Thomas make the news with his 58 and then completely poop the bed whenever it matters. That's a Jerry Jones, like, make a big splash. And then right back to where you were, top 30, top 40, and nothing to show for it. And I don't know if he drinks Pure Leaf green or Pure Leaf sweet tea. So Brooks Koepka was the dynasty, the hero, Captain America, winning all the majors. He had won like 5 majors in like 2 or 3 years. And then scandal, and he left. And now he stinks. Actually, he doesn't really stink, but he was a dynasty, but has not reclaimed his dynastic form recently. Matsuyama is the guy that was like, oh, yeah, the Rams, they won a Super Bowl in there somewhere between the Chiefs dynasty. They could probably thank Joe Burrow. So, and Joaquin Neiman is the Buffalo Bills. Always looks good, always the talk of the town. Everybody coming up in the playoffs in the big one. Joaquin Neiman never gets it done. Can't deliver. Gets to the Masters, poops the bed, loses on, it's always somebody else's fault, this and that. Buffalo Bills, Joaquin Neiman. Looks like he should win it. Got all the reasons to win it. Can't do it. What do you think of those?
I think it matches up pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. These are all teams that, big names, storied success, perennial powers, minus the Cowboys.
Who do you think would be the Panthers?
The Panthers. The question is, do we believe in Bryce Young? That's the question. What are the Panthers? They don't run the ball well. They don't throw the ball well. You've got some young, promising talent. So I'm just trying to figure out who the Panthers are. Right? Who are they?
Mm-hmm.
Zoolander. Who am I? So, you tell me. Who would the Panthers be? Oh, there you go, BMO. I love it.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Ricky Fowler. You're right. He was the hottest thing going in 2015-16. Great job, BMO. Great job. We love Ricky, too. Come on the show. BMO, what do you think of this is I'm going to put this out in the morning before I go to work. Master football. We footballed the Masters. How about that? No context. I'm just going to let people go at it. All right, Tex. Who do you – so, okay.
Is Fowler playing in this? I don't see him on the list.
No, he's not. He missed it. He's not playing it.
Might be the beginning of the end for Ricky.
Well, he got married and had a kid. So it's the beginning of the beginning. That's right, P. McCormick. We footballed the Masters. Oh. Anyways, who do you think wins this thing, dude?
I mean,
a lot of people like Colin Morikawa. I don't know. I think it could be somebody like Corey Connors, but
here's the
DraftKings guys. G.U.Y.S. Tex, would you care to tell us about why you picked Keegan Bradley? Did you hear me?
I just feel like he's been playing pretty good as of late.
He has been playing good, quite honestly.
Trying to remember, he had a bunch of top 10s. So he's looked good on my roster. Gut feeling.
I love the gut feeling, and I also his history here is pretty good. Let me take a look at that. But yeah, I think he is playing well. But his history here, he's played in this thing how many times since 2012? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's played this thing 8 times. He's been top 25 his last 2 years here. So, oh yeah. So Keegan Brad, I like Keegan
Made the
Brad.
cut last week. Finished top 50 last week.
Mm-hmm.
Made 9 of 9 cuts.
Like
3
that.
top 10s.
Like that. Let's see what
didn't putt so well. Didn't putt so well last week though.
Let's see what he is off the. Let's see what he is off the tee. Was he off the tee? Keegsland Bragley.
But in the last few tournaments, he's been 47th, 20th, 5th, 34th, 65, 15th, 6th, 15th, 5th. So it's not too bad.
No. Trying to look for Keegan Bradley here.
Made the cut in everything he's played.
He's
gonna make the cut for sure.
He's
gonna make the cut for sure.
He's 30th off the tee strokes gained. That's pretty good. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
That putting.
I like that. I like Keegan Bradley. Talk to me, Keegs. Talk to me, Keegs. What's his stats here? Keegs. Yeah, putting not great.
Played once again the highest level player, the highest money player, highest salary player.
Of course he did. That's what he
helped
does.
Himself.
Yeah, tee to green, strokes gained, tee to green. He's 13th. Strokes gained total. He's 24th. Keegan Bradley. He's having a good season, dude. Approach. He's 25th. Strokes gained. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Okay. I went with Denny McCarthy because Denny McCarthy is playing his second time here. And he did pretty well last. I think he was like top 40 last year on his first time, which was most people who play in their first time, they kind of get starstruck. So not this time, buddy. He is a absolutely ridiculous putter. Denny McCarthy is. And his approach game, I think it's his approach game is really, really good. So I'm going with Denny McCarthy. I just think in his second time here, it's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice. So I'm going with Denny McCarthy. Top 20, you get him at +3. +3 20. So, but yeah, what I don't like is his off the tee is not great, but putting, strokes gained total, strokes gained approach, I like it. I like it a lot. His par 5 scoring is not that great either, which kind of scared me, but that's okay. J.V.I gave you the amateur Ballester 6,100, and Dylon gave you Patrick Reed 7,300, and Butch P gave you to make the cut Freddie Cups. That's what his nickname should have been. So those are your DraftKings G.U.Y.S golfers up your sleeves. Oh yeah, B. McCormick likes couples. There you go. Up your sleeve. Here's the Make the Damn Cut parlay. J.Vi cooked up a Make the Cut parlay for you. It is Minwoo Lee -250, Willie Z -310, Theo -250, and Adam Scott. He basically just he went Sergio and Adam Scott, dude. Love it. That's +283 on DK DraftKings. Shout out J.Vi on the boots on the ground. Here's the sexy 6-pack golf winners. I went tiered again, Tex. 6 tiers divided, which was like 15 golfers per tier. I'm going with Xander Schauffele. I think this is his like 9th time playing here at the Masters, and he is dude. He is really good at this course. I think he's top 10. Like it's crazy. But yeah, so Xander Schauffele at +1,800. He finished second. That's his best time finishing here. He was 8th last year. 10 in 2023, 3rd in 2021, 2nd in 2019. I think people are sleeping on the Zans, man. So I'm going Xander Schauffele. Corey Connors is, I can't remember why. It was something about his strokes gained off the tee or his par 5. The same with Benny On. in the third tier. So Connor is plus 6,000, Benny on plus 14,000. Both of them had, I couldn't remember if it was par 5 scoring, but maybe it was both of them. But maybe it was one of them had really good off the tee statistics. And then obviously in the fourth tier at plus 17,000, Denny McCarthy, because he's an absolute putting machine. And then Pavon, I told you, played here last year and finished like 5th or whatever it was. And then Shank has played here before too at plus 90,000, dude, like way down there. And I'm pretty sure he played here once last year and finished 12th. So Shank knows how to play this course, dude. Like, and he's way down there, plus 90,000. That's a guy you could put in there with Scotty. FYI. Shank. How about that? How about that, Tech? Didn't know that, did you? Didn't know that about Shank. Okay. That's a lot of Masters stuff. I'm super excited to watch the Masters, Tex. I'm not going to get to watch any of it. Well, it'll be on tomorrow at work, but
my phone at work.
Mm-hmm.
The monitor duplicates, or my phone duplicates to a monitor at work, so I can plug my phone in and have it on my monitor playing from my phone.
That's pretty sick. Adam Scott, by the way, par 5, birdie or better, is 3rd on tour. Sepp Straka's up there. So, man, just looking at all this, look at all this stuff, dude. We're going to do all this talking, all this research. You have anything else on the Masters? The par 3 is awesome.
Can't wait for day one.
Kids hitting balls all over the place.
For me to look at my lineups and be like, check these bad boys out.
Ooh. First, I love it. I love this because there's only 95, so 50 make the cut. So it's very possible to get a lot of guys with 6 out of 6. And you can have a nice sweat on the weekend. I love it. Okay.
Waiting for some balls of fury on my DraftKings screen.
Let's do, what do we have next? It is, I think, just some How Dare Yous. I think I just have 2 quick ones. All right. You ready? Let's do some How Dare Yous. Shh.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare me? How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you, sir? You're gross.
How dare you?
How dare you? Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, my how dare you goes out to these guys who redid the dire wolf and called it a dire wolf. Let's just let dead dogs lie. Let's let dead dogs lie, man. Literally, they're dead.
Who funded this?
Let them lie.
That's what I want.
They're trying to bring back the woolly mammoth too, and I think that's a bad idea.
That's a terrible idea.
Yep.
Have they not seen Ice Age?
The
movie?
We're like 10 years away from them trying to do like a velociraptor just to see.
Yeah,
Komodo dragon velociraptor splice. We're gonna be having poisonous velociraptors running around here in no time. Venomous.
Mating with dire wolves and hanging out with woolly mammoths. It's gonna be like a Fortnite lobby in here. How dare you? Also, here's my how dare you. It goes out to the fantasy footballers, usually guys who I like. Come on. Come on. We know you see the shambles meter. Okay, you can't just come up with a dog meter and think that we're not going to call this just because it's basically the same color coding here. Okay. The dog meter looks a lot like the shambles meter minus the RG3 croissant face. So how dare you, fantasy footballers? We respect you. We think you put out a lot of good content. You're very original. This one doesn't pass the smell test, okay? Who
is Al?
Huh?
Who is that?
Oh, that's a guy from the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they've got, no dog, some dog, dog, too much dog, dog meter. This looks very similar to our shambles meter. And they just unveiled this, and it's just odd that the timing has come whenever the shambles meter is back in full swing. You can't fool us. Secondly, how dare you, Chick-fil-A, to this guy, Rhode Island man, lost 132 pounds by eating Chick-fil-A every day for more than a year. We can't do this again. This did not work out well the last time we had
No.
fast food guy loses a bunch of weight. Can't do it. Can't do it, Tex. So,
Well, didn't there was they had that I don't know if it's a documentary or a dramumentary that guy Morgan Spurlock, he did the Super Size Me.
oh
So
yeah,
he had to eat. So he had to, and then another guy went through and did the same thing, but except for instead of doing the rules that the Spurlock guy did, he did. He basically said, I will eat McDonald's every day, but I will not eat more than 2,000 calories. And he too lost weight because it was all about calorie control.
Also, the first guy was a heavy drinker, apparently, because when he went to see his doctor, there was a clip that came out that said, I'm worried about your liver. And
Oh, this Morgan Spurlock guy?
Yeah, like he was a heavy alcoholic or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So that he was his doctor, when he had all of his stuff measured, was like, there's something going on with your liver, bud. Like, those liver enzymes aren't, and somebody pulled the clip. It was like, whoa, okay. That adds a curveball to the study. But this whole Chick-fil-A every day for more than a year, did he walk? I didn't read the study. I have no idea.
I could see it making sense because they have salads and wraps and stuff like that. So I could see that making sense.
I mean, shout out for losing that much weight.
And they have grilled nuggets,
which are I don't know about their grilled nuggets. Chicken minis.
No, deep fried though.
True.
I guess not. I don't know. We'd have to ask our inside source.
Great point, BMO. He fasted every Sunday. I bet he did. Oh, I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, I need BMO to come down here so he can check my eyes.
Yeah.
I need a new prescription.
Come on, BMO. Come on, BMO. Well, if you enjoyed the show, everybody who's been tuning in and jumping up the numbers, we've had over 200 and some new people on the listen to the podcast the last week, which is kind of cool. So we appreciate that. Subscribe to the show, like the show, leave a rating or review. We would love that. And then contact us about a hat. Take off the hat. And this has been the Master Special. Good luck, everybody, on your Masters DraftKings lineups that you should put into our $1 contest, which is out now. Go check the descriptions. And Tex, Go
Cowboys.
All in. Let's go.
The Penguins have officially been eliminated from the playoffs as well, so it's baseball season.
You missed my Evgeny Malkin thing. I'll show you after the show. See you later.